Welcome to Vim for Beginners. The VI editor was created around 1976. Vim came around 1991. That was just the initial releases. Over the years, there was many different people and iterations of both editors to get what we have today, which surprisingly still exists and is flourishing. The pros of using Vim is it's a very powerful text editor. It's a high availability, meaning most systems you encounter, especially of the Unix variety, it's going to already have Vim there. And if you got to edit a log file, text file, some code, being familiar with it means you're going to be able to jump right in there and get things done and not have to find out another way of accessing the file and saving it. It didn't look like there would be much use for Vim on Windows, but lately with more and more people using Cygwin and Git, these environments that simulate some Unix, Linux functionality for different tools usually also bring Vim with them. That doesn't mean you need them to use Vim. You can go and install Vim on its own without anything else from vim.org, and I'll show you that in a moment. But if you get something like Git command line, it's going to have Vim already there. When you're doing commits, it's going to pull you into Vim, and knowing how to do some editing there is a good idea. Once the operations are learned, you can edit very quickly. Good skill with Vim garners respect of your peers because they know you're someone who does a lot of research and is able to read about the way to get something done, and you don't need a lot of input, because to really get good at Vim you got to practice it a lot, and you got to know how to use the help files and the rest of the system to learn how to use all the different commands. That also leads into some of the cons of using Vim. Vim does not hold your hand at all. It opens up many times the first time using it, things just won't work. You won't even know how to close the application once you've started using it. It's written by pros, for pros. Many of the decisions in that are decades ago in terms of how a user interacts with the editor. And you need to read the manual. You need to be able to go into the help system, learn these things, and all of them are hidden enough from the user that if you're not using them frequently, you're usually going to forget them. So you need to learn them and then use them often. It's the only way to remember the commands you'll need. It's got a steep learning curve, but you get rewarded later in terms of speed and power. Now, this is assuming mostly you're on a Windows system. If you're on a Linux or Unix system, you probably already know how to get it, but on Windows you can get it again. If you're running Git Bash, it's there. MSys, or more appropriately MingW, the minimum GNU system, not MSys, but and then mostly what I'll go over is the Cygwin installations. If you need to learn where to get Cygwin and how to install it, you can see my other video on it. When you run the setup of Cygwin, you just go in, taking your defaults, and after it pulls down its package listing, you can do an easy search for where the Vim packages are, which are under editors, and you can install you can install them both. The GVIM is the more Windows friendly. It's got more options above it for selecting and highlighting, or just regular VIM, which is just fine. But you can try them both. They're not going to cause a problem if you install them both. And then just do next and do your installations. If you're on Unix, also you can go to vim.org, and you don't need any of the other Unix, Linuxy types environments and GNU tools. You can directly get your an install package, which will have the GUI and console versions, which on Cygwin we saw were GVIM or VIM, and the GUI version is just more Windows types of menus and whatnot, but it's not much difference to just go ahead and learn the console version. If you're on a straight Unix system or using Unix or Linux in a virtual machine, you can do, if you're on Debian or Ubuntu, just an apt-get install VIM, and or you can Google any other way to either install it from source or install via a package manager. In our next video, we'll cover opening some basic files, moving around, and then editing and saving them. Thanks for watching.